Hey, it's me, Curtis's emoji. We're at the top of Mount Tam today to start the show. When we get to the kitchen, we're going to make Mama Lattanzio's basic tomato sauce and pasta with beans. And there's some good stories in here too. Let's go home to the kitchen. Spread love. Curtis G. I'm going to make Mama Lattanzio's beans and pasta. And as I said earlier, these are Chinese long beans. However, the first time I had them, I thought they were Italian because Mama Lattanzio made that great dish. So I'm going to try to replicate that dish today. We have to make her basic, as she puts it, her basic. In other words, it's a pasta sauce or tomato sauce for dudes who weren't born in Italy. That be me. I love you, Mama Lattanzio. This one's for you. Olive oil is one of the main ingredients. Tomato, her recipe calls for a large can of tomatoes, like a 32-ounce can. I'm going to use my tomatoes, my frozen tomatoes from, I believe these are 2 seasons ago. And there's a blend of French and Italian tomatoes in here, so that's for you, girl. Some tomato paste. Again, I'm using that Italian tomato paste, those San Marzianos. I always say that word wrong. Those beautiful tomatoes. Half of a yellow, well, this is a white onion. I got my bow tie pasta. Of course, I'm dressing this up. This is for you, big boy of Outkast. The song Bow Tie. There we go. Plus, Cole used to love to wear bow ties. I mean, when he dressed up, he'd always wear a bow tie. So that's for you too, Coley boy. We're going to need some water, of course, and I forgot to put water in my bowls, to represent. The recipe calls for a handful. I love that in her cookbook. A couple of years ago, we were in Syracuse for Mama Lattanzio's 90th birthday party. It was a blast. We ate for 3 days. I mean, Friday night there was a big dinner at a golf course and a cookbook with all of Mama Lattanzio's recipes in it. And I love what she talks about the fresh ingredients and the basil and things. Then Saturday, there was another meal at, I think, her son Rocco's house. My goodness, did we eat. Oh, and then Sunday, we capped it off at Mama Lattanzio's house. Let me tell y'all something. We had, there was the vegetable course, then a pasta course. And when I say a vegetable course, there was like, rapini and this and that and potatoes and all these vegetables, right? Then the pasta course, there was several different pasta. Like when I say several, I mean like 5, 6, 7. And then there was meat. Oh my goodness. She did this rabbit dish. Wow. I can taste it now. Okay, so back to what we're making now. The basic tomato sauce, she calls it. And, for guys who weren't born in Italy, that'd be me. So let's get back and we'll make this beautiful dish. Thanks, Mama Lattanzio. Love you lots. Peace. Y'all know what's next. Let me hear you in Texas. Spread love. Yeah. Let's prep our veggies. And there's really not that much prep when it comes to this recipe. I'm going to dice up this half onion, white onion. There we go. Just peel it like so. Remember, all this can go in our garden mulch pile. Put it off to the side. I think, I believe the toughest part is going to be stripping all the basil, which I absolutely love doing. And remember, as I think I've shared this with you in the past, you don't need to slice into your onion because, when you're going to dice it, because if you just run those lines down like so, boom, look at that. Nice, fine dice. Isn't that good? One of those easy tricks that you can do. Onion is there. Okay, now we'll strip our basilico. And when I get basil from the garden, I'll just take and I go ahead and wash it. Then I put it in a bowl or a jar with water so we can keep it nice and fresh till we're ready for it. And just really make sure you look underneath the leaves. That was nothing. It's just the one of the brown leaves. Just strip all those basil leaves. And I'm not going to bore you by making you watch me strip these leaves. We're just going to get to the stove top and start to make Mama Lattanzio's basic tomato sauce or gravy. Gosh, I love that smell. Baby, that smells so good. I think I've got 2 or 3 different types of basils today. Just cut it a big handful of basil is what we need. We'll get the sauce started, then we will work on our beans and pasta. Okay, back in the kitchen. I've got the onions chopped up, the basil, a big handful, as Mama Lattanzio say, and that's about a half cup to 3/4 cup. Let's go ahead and prep our long beans, and it's very easy to prep them. Just cut the ends off. You can do it with a kitchen scissors, or you can just break them off, whatever is easy for you. I'm just going to take and just kind of cut off the ends like so, and then we'll just throw those in the, well, I won't put these in the mulch pile because they will sprout, okay? Don't cut off too much because there's a lot of good bean down there. Just take your time, get all those cut up. We're going to cook the beans first, and then in that same water, we're going to cook our pasta. Adds more flavor to the pasta as well as the beans. Then we'll come back just before the pasta is done, like the last 5 minutes. We'll put the beans back in there so they really, all those flavors marry. Love, I'm getting hungry just talking about it. So just take your time, remove all those tips. And yes, you can slice the beans in half, make them smaller if you like. And since I'm using the bow tie pasta, I think I will cut the beans into like maybe 3 different segments, okay? Take your time, just cut all those off. You can use your kitchen scissors if you'd like. Might be quicker than just taking my big cutting, my big butcher's, my big chef's knife, my big, whatever you call this thing. I'm kidding, you know I know. Alrighty. If you don't have fun in the kitchen, where can you have fun? Hey, a lot of places, right? Hey baby, where's your favorite place to have fun?
Anywhere with you.
Anywhere with me? I didn't pay her for that. But I will pay you later. Okay, our beans are looking good here. Just about got them all done. All right, we are ready to get over to the stovetop and start our process. Okay, let's finish these beans up. We'll come back, meet at the stovetop. Peace. Okay, back in the kitchen. We've got our beans, our Chinese long beans. Oh, did I say Chinese? Our Italian long beans sliced into 4 pieces, okay? I don't want them to overwhelm the bow tie pasta when we make those. When I say overwhelm, I mean they kind of share the bill, okay? The beans and pasta are the co-stars of this recipe, along with the tomato sauce as well. So why don't we start making it? Now, I've got my pot with a colander inside because I'm going to use the same water to cook the pasta as I do the beans. So we'll lift the colander out and then drain it, and then we're going to add the pasta in the cook later. So let's get that started. First of all, I'm going to add some salt. When that starts to boil, we'll add our beans and add a bit of olive oil to this. I've got my big container of olive oil because I'm going to pull some in there. About 2 tablespoons, okay? Now, let's start making our basic tomato sauce. And I've got one of my little saucepans here. Add about 2 tablespoons, 1001, 1002. That's an easy way if you don't have a tablespoon to measure with. Let's turn that burner on. If you notice, I've got my handle turned to the back. Why? So I don't bump into it and burn myself with hot oil. Okay, gonna give this a minute or 2 to heat up. And the first thing that will go in will be our onion. Those beautiful diced onions. We are back in the kitchen. I've got my pasta water going. And I say pasta water, however, I'm also gonna cook the beans in there as well. Just adds more flavor to the dish. Water, some salt, olive oil. And I've got my olive oil in my saucepan here heating up. I've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Going to add our onion and saute those for about 2 to 3 minutes. Nice little snap, crackle, and some pop there, a little sizzle whizzle. There we go. That goes in there. I'm going to just let that cook 2 to 3 minutes. Flavoring up that oil. And it's going to be the base for our gravy. Our basic tomato sauce. You okay over there, baby? How many papers you read today? 7? I don't read any. She reads 7. Okay. Now, let those cook. The house is smelling good. I do want to show you the basil. And what I did was I just tore everything off the leaves. Let me move. I've got my plastic cutting board, so I should move it away from the heat. And then we'll just kind of tear those as we put them into the sauce. Looking good. It's going to take those, take that water a minute to get up to boil, up to snuff. Next, we'll add. Now, remember, Mama's recipe called for a large can of tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and I'm using my frozen tomatoes from 2 seasons ago. So first, I'm going to add my tomato paste. About 2-3 ounces of the tomato paste. And I can always add more later on. And I'm going to stir this in there. Our base there, getting everything going. Now I'm going to add my frozen tomatoes. And I want you to remember now, these tomatoes, they still have the husk. And I'm going to show you later on an easy way to take those husk being the skin, right, out of these tomatoes. I want to let this sauce reduce nicely, okay? So take your time. Once it comes to a boil, when it comes to a boil, we're going to reduce it, and we're going to let this cook. Now, she calls this a basic sauce because when you use those canned tomatoes, it's just easy to get your sauce to reduce because you don't have to reduce all that liquid that we do from fresh tomatoes. Okay, so never fear, Chef Curtis is here. Now you can just put your food safety gloves on. Because if it's too hot, that'll help keep the temperature down so you don't burn your fingers. You just pull those skins right out, okay? Or you can take some tongs and pull them out, okay? Just as you see them bubble up like that. Now, it really won't hurt to leave them in your sauce because they just add a little more fiber to your diet. But you're gonna let this reduce. I'm gonna let this cook for about 40 minutes, and then we'll tear our basil, add the basil to it. We'll check for salt, pepper, seasoning, those kinds of things, and we'll move along. All right, back in the kitchen, and our sauce has reduced almost about 1/3. I'm going to lower this even more. Remember, I pushed it back on the simmer burner, and I let it cook for about 40 minutes or so. And I'm going to lower this. Our bean and pasta water is just about there. Now, next we need to add our basil, our fresh basil. And I'm just going to tear the leaves in, okay? You could chop them if you want, but I'm in that mood. I want that smell of the basil on my fingers. Ooh, and see, that way you can also check if there's any large stems. Pull those out. But I want to keep those leaves. And we'll get all of our basilico in there. And by the time we tear all the basil, our pasta and bean water should be hot enough. Okay, so again, I'm not going to bore you by making you watch me tear basil. So I'll Fresh basil. Not only does it taste great, it is a great source of iron, potassium. But remember, you got to eat a lot of it to get the good stuff out.
Pasta and bean water starting to boil. Going to go ahead and add our beans in. Going to push this to the simmer burner. Push that back. Raise this. I'm going to bring it over so you can get a better view of this overhead shot. We're going to cook the beans for about 15 minutes. That's one of the green beans inside there. Then we're going to push those down into the water. Make sure everything is submerged. I'm going to bring that to a boil. We're going to let them cook for about 15 minutes, okay? Clock on the wrist says 6:24. So what that should be, what did I say, 15 minutes? 24:10, about 35, 6:35, okay? So we've got salt, we've got olive oil in there, 15 minutes, we're gonna drain them, cook our pasta, and by that time our sauce should be ready, the gravy. You see the party in that pan. Party in the pan, party in the pan. All right, I'm gonna take the pasta out. Did I say pasta? I'm gonna take those beans out, put the pasta in. Now I was going to take them and drain them like so. However, I think we'll just grab some tongs, a little quick shake. This will be the vessel that we will serve our pasta and beans in. I've got some Romano cheese, some Reggiano Parmigiano cheese around. Now look at that, all that beautiful vegetable broth. In the South, we call that pot liquor. When you cook greens or beans and things like that in that beautiful dark broth, and that's all it is. We call it pot liquor. And it's absolutely fabulous with cornbread. Look at that. That beautiful olive oil helps to make a nice broth. Olive oil and salt. That's all is added to that water. Get all those beans out of there. Now there's a lot of flavor in there. That's one of the tricks that Mama Lattanzio and Vince tell me when we're cooking pasta in that vegetable water. There's flavor in that water, right? Can you see that? We're gonna add our pasta and let this cook 12 to 15 minutes. If you really like it al dente, 10 to 12 minutes, okay? I like my pasta a little softer than most, so I'm gonna let it cook a little longer. And if you're using fresh pasta, you'd only cook that for about, 7 to 10 minutes. We're gonna bring that back to a boil, and we are close to showtime. Showtime being dinner time around here. Let that come back up to a boil. Let it cook for 12 to 15 minutes. We'll test it. We'll see if we're good to go. Our pasta's been cooking for about 10 minutes. Take a little, oh yeah. Now bow tie pasta takes a little longer because of those middles are a little thicker. However, oh look at that, looks so good. We're gonna add our green beans back, our long beans back for the final part of cooking, okay? So put all those in there. And just mix them up. Let the beans and the pasta finished together. Just scrape everything into that bowl. Look at that, into that pot, I should say. Look, isn't it beautiful? And we'll clean that up between now and when you come back. Remember now, we add that we add the beans in there. It lowers the temperature because those beans cooled off. Now let it come back to a boil. Let it come back up to a boil. And we'll let it cook for about 6 more minutes. We'll take it out and serve it. A little trick I want to share with you. We've made an incredible vegetable broth in that container there. So don't throw that away. Use that for making your next stir fry, or when you're going to make a soup, vegetable soup, any kind of soup right there. You've got a wonderful vegetable broth right there. Vegetable. Oh, to my dear friend, R.I.P. Mr. Joe Carcione. Peace. Italian brother he was. He taught me so much. I was at a dinner the other night and I was talking about some of the things that Joe taught me, and wow, what a dude. What a loving man. All right, y'all, peace. You know the rest. Spread that love. All right, we are back. Everything's looking so good. I'm going to turn this one off, because the front burner, that is. Take a look at that. Oh, that pasta. Let that drain a bit. I'm going to shake it. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your beans and pasta. Shake your beans and pasta. All right, now we're going to turn this into that beautiful white container. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I want you to see that. I am thrilled. I'm gonna do some layers. Beans and pasta. I'm letting that drain so that I can just dump all of it in there. Woo! I'm getting excited about dinner tonight, you all. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And of course, you can use any type pasta you like. I wanted to use the bow tie today because I just wanted to, pay homage to Mama Lattanzio, just dress it up a bit, and also to Big Boy from Outkast. The song Bow Tie on Speaker Box. If you have not heard it, check it out. You know what? This could be good just as it is. Just a little butter and salt and pepper. However, we got tricks. We got big tricks. We got marinara. Oh, I lost a bow tie. Careful. Hope you didn't see that. No, I'm not going to eat that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. All that pasta in there. Okay. And the green beans. I hope my close-up shot is nice on that. Now remember, that right there, wow, vegetable broth. Don't throw that away. Save it. You better save it for a rainy day. Who sang that song? Save it for a rainy day. Now, we've got our, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, I'm going to just make a little parm over it. Again, I love that layer effect you get. We're going to add some of our sauce, the gravy. Okay, we'll come back with more sauce. Oh, that looks good. I think we're ready to serve. We'll go to the front and to the countertop, and we'll taste this up, okay? Don't go away. Okay, so we got a little bit of that gorgeous, as Mama Lattanzio calls it, her basic tomato sauce. I love this dish. Now, and I added some parm underneath it, some Reggiano Parmigiano, Gonna add the remainder of our sauce here. I want you at home to see that. This is just beautiful. Bonito. ¿Cómo se dice en español? Wonderful dish. I should be saying Italiano, huh? Magnifico. What language is magnifico? Magnifico. Magnifique. Magnifique. Woo! All right. Now, I'm going to add a little more of that Italian cheese blend, Reggiano Parmigiano, some Romano Pecorino, forgive me. Okay. I think I'm ready to taste. It smells so good. Oh, I think Lisa's gonna love dinner tonight. Oh, look at those beans. I gotta send Mama Lattanzio a picture of this. Vincenzo. Okay, here we go. All right, y'all, this has been so much fun. Please, you know, this is one of those recipes that just, there's so much love in it. It's hot. Oh, wow. I don't know what I love most, the pasta, the beans, the sauce. That's why they work so well together. Spread love, y'all. Like my mama, Laura Bell Curtis Aikens. I like Vince's mom, Mama Lattanzio. Peace. Great meal.
My niece Lauren, Rosia Aikens, has been here for a week from Atlanta, and we have had a blast all around the Bay Area. Check out more sights from this morning at Mount Tamalpais.
Was that a hummingbird?
You saw a hummingbird where?
God. All I ask is not to get attacked by bugs. Like, hey, I can do
Well,
anything else.
remember them days when you're out in nature? Hey Siri, play Ramsey Lewis. Check that. Hey Siri, play Cannonball Adderley. Yeah. Them be the smooth ass sounds of the one, the only Cannonball Adderley. His brother Nate was bad too.